Excellent. And turning to the values, what specifically did you do to come up with your values?
Again, the exercise was simply about thinking around words that best described what the business does or how the business does it, and kind of working on those. And the exercise included leaving words behind or choosing one word over another, which enabled us to come up with the 5 values.
So you went through a facilitated exercise that generated lots of words, and then you chose to narrow those words down to the ones that most resonated to you. Excellent. And what outcomes have you had, what improvements have you had within the team around morale or stuff like that, now you've defined your visions and your values?
Everybody was much happier. I think when we decided on the vision and the values, everybody had a clearer goal, so it was easier to make better decisions, knowing full well that if they based their decisions, if they didn't know who to ask or what to ask, the decision they came up with is prompting them all the time to bear those gut values in mind when they're making a decision. And ultimately I've given them free license that as long as they make a decision based on a minimum of 3 of the values, and they can quantify it, that they're going to make the right decision.
And I know that you've got an almost unique way of communicating and reminding the team of those values on a constant basis. Do you mind sharing?
We had once we came up with them, there was a lot of talk about how to impart them into the bit within the core of the business, and people had them up on small signs around the place, but I decided to go with sort of 12-inch high letters on the wall right next to where they work.
So the massive, great letters on the wall. So every day, and I know it's blue wall and striking white wall with blue striking blue writing on it. So there's a constant reminder there. And I think that's really, really special. And then you've got your vision and your values. How do you feel? Has it changed the way that you feel about your business or feel about the team?
Yeah, it definitely has. It's brought us together because we know we can trust each other into making decisions, and people making decisions every day. They don't perhaps realise whether they're small decisions or massive decisions, but they have autonomy themselves. So it kind of gives me a bit of freedom in terms of trust, which is one of the issues that I faced a lot before this exercise, and it allows them to know that it's not going to come back at them if they've made the decision in the right way.
And if there was one piece of information or one idea or concept that you could share with the people that are watching this video about coming up with the values or coming up with the vision, what would that be? How could you help them?
I think the idea of generating lots of words that resonate with you, and then I think it was a holiday or going on a plane exercise where you had a suitcase with one word in it, a suitcase with another, and you could only take that word away with you. That was one of the ways we got to our values.
So the idea of coming up with lots of different things. I know it was facilitated by Joe Simpson.
Yes.
That particular exercise, and it was the having to decide between one or the other, and then rank them into order that gave you the desire, the motivation, if you like, the clarity on what those numbers, what those numbers were, or what those words were even. That's excellent. Thank you very much.